I am really fascinated right now in continuing to explore the relationship between BTS and ARMY, and a few people recommended that I should check out a solo VLIVE. Let's get right into it. I appreciate all of you being here. I really do. I feel grateful for being able to have this channel and being able to talk about the stuff that I love with an audience who appreciates it. So thank you. Let's get right into the video.
여기 너무 밝아. 준비도 안 했는데. 너무 갑작스러운데? 그죠? 잠시만요. 좀 립밤을 바르고 올게요, 여러분.
He's already, in the first few seconds, done a few things that make him feel incredibly relatable. Just the fact that he's opening up about not feeling ready to be on camera, going to get lip balm, something a lot of us have applied to ourselves before. So all these little things that we get to see in these V lives humanize them even more. And the more human they feel to us, the more connected we feel to them. And I've talked about this on this channel before, something called the pratfall effect. Essentially what the pratfall effect states is that when people make mistakes, that actually increases their likability. We actually like people more when they mess up or make mistakes. You see it with JK here. He's not acting perfect.
여기 너무 밝아. 준비도 안 했는데.
He's admitting his mistakes. We're seeing those quote-unquote flaws, and that just increases that likability. I think that's a small example of the pratfall effect in action.
너무 고마운 거를 좀 말해드리고 싶어서 그냥 바로 그냥 V앱 하겠다고 말하고 이렇게 방송을 켰습니다. 너무 정신없이 뭔가 확 지나가가지고 아직까지 좀 정신이 없는데.
Look how JK's positioned to us. Look how he's positioned to the camera, right? His body's open to us. He's looking directly at us. Essentially what that means is when we're asking ourselves, does this person care? Can I trust this person? So a lot of it's subconscious, but a lot of it has to do with their body language. And if their body language feels very open to us, then we sense that they care a little bit more, and as a result, we might trust them a little bit more.
이틀 전에 이제 리허설 했는데, SNL 리허설 했는데 너무 신기했어요. 솔직히 리허설 때까지는 뭐 막 긴장이 되지 않았거든요. 근데 확실히 오늘 이 라이브 때는 좀 많이 긴장을 한 것 같아요. 유명하고 큰 방송이니까.
I mean, look how he's communicating right now. It's incredible. He's sharing these emotions with us, but it's also how he's saying it. It's almost like this is the first time he said it. This is like him kind of figuring out how to articulate this experience for the first time. That's why it feels sincere. It's in how he's saying it. Like the way he's saying it, I get the sense that this is the first time he's really thought about it in this way. And it doesn't feel scripted or performative. And that's the thing with BTS. They're constantly showing their human side. The more human people feel to us, especially in this sort of virtual relationship, the more we're going to feel connected to them, the more we're going to feel like we can relate to them.
뭐라고 이거 퓨리 뭐야 이거 모르겠어요. 아무튼 마스크예요. 마스크고 전동 칫솔을 받았습니다. 전동 칫솔을 제가
I love seeing a solo JK here. I often find that when he's in a group of 7 of them, he can be overshadowed a little. Sometimes the louder voices and the louder personalities in BTS might drown him out just a bit. I think he is a little bit quieter. He is a little bit more soft-spoken. And in order to really appreciate him, you need to see him sort of individually or in a duo setting. And here, I'm sort of sensing that because if you listen to the pace in which he's speaking, it's slow. He's taking his time. It's like he's just kind of hanging out with us, his friends. I think JK kind of thrives in this setting. I think if I had to guess, this is how people really felt connected to JK. If you're a Jungkook stan, you tell me, maybe this is sort of how you fell in love with him, is through these V lives.
야, 이 댓글 한번 읽어볼까? I love you, Jungkook. 전동 칫솔 신기해요. 보통 아는 것과 다르네요. 그러니까요. 보통 전동 칫솔 이렇게 동그랗게 생겼지 않나? 뮤비 이런 거 없어. 맞아요. 저 들었어요. 이거 엄청 시간 단축됐다고 하기를. 감사합니다.
There you go. I mean, this is going to make people feel really connected to BTS and Jungkook over here, right? He's like reading the comments directly. It's this direct line of communication. We feel like he's accessible. It's like we have a chance. He might see my comment. I might be able to somehow get a hold of him. And that's exciting, right? That's encouraging. I talked about this in my last video. It's encouraging to know that these guys are reading these messages and comments and letters. I'm going to be more motivated to get involved and write comments and be engaged and continue to try to communicate with them, knowing that they're reading and appreciating and absorbing and interacting with us. So yeah, just from a communication standpoint, again, like I'm learning a lot here about this connection and about why people feel so connected. And this is one of the many different factors.
제 인생의 바탕이에요, 바탕. 여러분들이 길을 만들어주고, 여러분들이 지금 제가 가는 길을 만들어주고 있어요. 너무 감사합니다. 나의 길잡이. 나의 everything. You know, ARMY.
Him saying you know ARMY, and he repeated it twice. I think JK saying you know ARMY, you know, to me that's a sign that it's really important for ARMY to receive that message, because he wasn't sure that it was articulated properly or the weight of that message was felt and heard. He wanted to express it as honestly as possible, right? As meaningful as possible. You can tell he was just sort of searching for the words that would express his depth of gratitude and love toward ARMY. And I loved how he looked at the camera directly when expressing that message, right? When we have something sincere to say, we should look at the person we're speaking to, or at least turn our body to the person we're speaking to. The message is so much more meaningful, isn't it? When we see JK looking directly at us.
그래도 오늘 인터뷰하면서 레몬 형이 하는 말을 좀 알아듣고 인터뷰어가 하는 말을 좀 알아들었어요. 그래서 좀 신기했어요. Yo.
Cool. You know, I'm talking about why ARMY a lot feels connected to BTS, but the other side of it is, why does BTS feel so connected to ARMY? ARMY is this entity, this family, this energy that BTS can open up to. You know, BTS has this outlet where they can really express their innermost thoughts and feelings with us. And I'm sure they have each other to do that with as well, but I think because, and this is where I think ARMY can get some more credit for being incredibly accepting and supportive, encouraging, non-judgmental. Because ARMY is like that, it only encourages BTS to open up more. I think that is an irreplaceable relationship. Like, that's an invaluable relationship to have, when you feel like you have someone who you can go to and talk about anything with, almost, and share your hardships with and your challenges and share your gratitude, like all these big feelings and all these real thoughts. You have someone who you know you can share that with. That is going to make you feel connected to someone too. That's going to make you want to come back to someone and continue to speak to someone and continue to have this really open line of communication. So I think there's just an immense amount of trust on both ends.
지금 댓글 보고 있는 중입니다. 도서관에서 친구랑 몰래 보고 있어요. 해보고 싶은 머리색이 뭘까요? 해보고 싶은 머리, 저는 그냥
So chill, man. The pace of this is super relaxing. Super chill. I'm enjoying this. And just him laughing at that comment, I'm watching with a friend at the library, him laughing at that, like us seeing him have that real exchange with someone is pretty amazing too, isn't it? Like just thinking about JK visualizing an army at the library with her friend watching this is cool to think about. JK's like aware of our world. That's what it is. It's like, oh, Jungkook's aware of our world. Like he knows the world that a lot of us live in. He can relate to it. He's laughing about it. That's part of that subconscious bond. That's what I think.
솔직히 막 딱 그게 말하고자 하는 게 너무 커가지고 이 말만 딱 전해드리고 라이브를 종료하자 이런 식으로 생각을 했었거든요. 근데 라이브를 키니까 끄기가 쉽네요.
He's taking his time with us. He's taking his time with ARMY. Doesn't feel rushed. And it feels like he cares about ARMY. And that's a big part of this. When we sense that people want something from us, that's when our guards go up. That's when our trust meters sound off. But I think with JK and the rest of the guys, it's like there's not this sense that like they want something. Like we need something in return from you guys. There's never any of that sort of salesy type of feeling. Like I always talk about this when I help people with their presentations. Go into your presentation wanting nothing in return. Your presentation is for your audience. You should be there to give. If our audience can sense that, hey, like we care about them, we just want to sort of give to them in a selfless way, they're much more likely to listen in turn, they're more likely to give back. And I think that's the sense that you get from these guys. It's like they want to give, like they're showing up to give, they're showing up to give thanks. The law of reciprocity states that when people give to us, we feel a want and a need to give back in return.
솔직히 이렇게 가만히 앉아가지고 여러분들 댓글 보는 게 너무 재밌습니다. 여러분들 아무 말이나 해보세요. 아무 말. 하고 싶은 말.
He's kind of got this goofiness about him too, just with his little noises, and that's the thing about JK. I think the more you watch him, the more you appreciate that sort of that goofiness and that there's a sarcasm there, but there's like there's a quirkiness to his behavior. He's quirky. He's a bit different. You see him on stage. He's this incredibly charismatic performer. He's got that X factor. But when you see him more and more and you really pay attention, he's got these little quirks. He's got this goofiness. He's funny. But he's also deep too, right? He can get there too.
하이파이브까지. 자. 이거까지 하지. 맞추는 거.
I felt the urge to do that, but I didn't. How many people did that though? JK's comfortable. This is like him in his comfort zone here. Doesn't need to say something to fill up the space every 3-4 seconds. He's just chilling. He's enjoying his time with everyone. Sort of the sense that you get. He's just kind of hanging out with us. It's like this feeling that he and BTS want to be here. They want to give. They want to be with us. They're giving us their time and their attention because they want to, not because they have to. So I think a lot of people, when they feel that, it's like, man, I want to give my time back.
Cautious, curious, confused, puzzled. 아 근데 이거 너무 동사가 너무 어려워요. 동사가 막 그거 과거형이랑 현재형이 있잖아요.
You can see him like really thinking and processing. I mean, that's the beauty of this. This isn't performative. This isn't scripted at all. It's just super relaxed. We're seeing a real JK. That's what it feels like. Like we see these little things. We see their little behaviors. We see the little actions. We see the little imperfections. We see them expressing their gratitude to the fullest. We see them opening up about being insecure or nervous or sad, all these little details about their lives that make them feel so incredibly human. And the more we watch them, the more we see them, and the more we learn about them, the more we're going to feel connected to them. It makes so much sense to me. On top of the fact that they're exposing their lives to us and exposing themselves to us, what they're exposing and what they're talking about in part is their love for us and their appreciation for us. When we sense that, that adds a whole new layer to the relationship.
Thank you. 저는 이제
Thank you.
가볼게요. Bye bye. See you soon. See you later. 씻으러 가야 되겠다. 이거 어떻게 끄더라? 요건가? 지금 내가 이 버튼 하나만 누르면 라이브는 종료가 된다.
Taking his time with the goodbye as well, right? Like, see you soon, thank you. Like, he wants ARMY to know that he gives a fuck. That's what he's communicating here. There's no rushing, like, thank you, like, all of these sort of elongated messages and pauses and asking for validation earlier, you know what I mean, ARMY? Like, all of these things indicate that he wants ARMY to know how much he cares and how much he appreciates them. I think that's very important for him to communicate. I think in this video started to get a better appreciation of what BTS is drawn to and how BTS feels so connected to ARMY. And JK just feels like he's at home here, doesn't he? I really enjoyed that. I hope you did too. Guys, if you want to watch my uncut reaction and analysis, all you need to do is go to my Patreon page. I've also got a ton of BTS uncut reactions exclusive to Patreon, including live performances, Rise of Bangtan episode reactions, and a lot more. So if you're interested in checking that out as well, you can go to my Patreon page. I've included the link in my description below. Other than that, my name is Max. I will catch you soon. Peace.